Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Yash Drall Gamer, and today we are trying out a super addictive and satisfying puzzle game available on the Play Store called Watermelon Maker Game. 8-block puzzle, and honestly this game looks simple at first glance, but once you start playing it becomes incredibly challenging because every move matters, every block placement changes the board completely, and one bad decision can end the entire run. And in today's gameplay our goal is not just to survive for a few minutes, we are going all out to achieve a massive high score of 2350. And trust me, reaching that score requires patience, planning, fast thinking, and a lot of smart block placements because the game becomes more difficult the longer you survive. So today we are going to test our puzzle solving skills and see how far we can push this run. As the game begins, we are presented with the classic 8 grid, clean and empty, and at the bottom we receive our first set of blocks that we must place carefully inside the box. And right away we can tell this is not just a random game because strategy is extremely important here, since once the board starts filling up, space management becomes the biggest challenge. So from the very beginning, we decide to stay organized, keeping the center open while placing smaller pieces near the edges to create more flexibility later in the game. In the first few minutes, everything feels smooth and relaxing because the board is mostly empty and we can easily fit the blocks wherever we want. And every time we complete a full row or column, the blocks disappear, giving us more space and increasing our score little by little. And honestly, the clearing animation feels very satisfying because it gives a strong sense of progress. As we continue, the game starts giving us larger and more awkward shaped blocks. And this is where the difficulty begins increasing because now we cannot just place pieces randomly. We must think several moves ahead, predicting where future blocks might fit, and this transforms the gameplay into a real brain challenge. One of the most important strategies we begin using is saving larger open spaces for the biggest blocks because getting stuck with no room for a large piece can instantly end the game, and this careful planning helps us survive much longer than usual. As our score climbs higher and higher, we start feeling the pressure because the board slowly becomes more crowded, and every placement now feels critical, and at one point we almost lose because the game gives us 3 difficult blocks in a row, forcing us to completely rethink our strategy. But instead of panicking, we stay calm, carefully analyze the board, and manage to create enough space by clearing multiple rows at once. And honestly, that moment feels incredibly satisfying because it saves the entire run. Deeper into the match, the gameplay becomes more intense and addictive because now we are fully focused, constantly scanning the board for the best placements, trying to maximize space efficiency while also aiming for combo clears, and every successful move feels rewarding because one smart placement can completely change the situation. One of the coolest moments happens when we manage to clear several rows almost back to back, causing a huge jump in score and giving us a massive amount of free space again, and this creates a second chance to continue pushing for an even higher score. As we cross the 1000 point mark, the challenge becomes much harder because the board fills up faster than before, and now the game starts testing our patience and decision-making skills heavily. And honestly, this is where many players fail because panic starts setting in, but we remain focused and continue making calculated moves. The further we go, the more intense the gameplay becomes. because every block now feels like a puzzle on its own. And sometimes we spend several seconds just deciding where a single piece should go, because one mistake could ruin everything. At one point, the board becomes dangerously full, with only a few spaces remaining, and it honestly looks like the game is about to end. But then we spot an opportunity to clear multiple lines at once using a perfectly placed block. And suddenly the entire board opens up again, saving the run completely. And moments like this are what make the game so exciting and satisfying at the same time. As we approach the later stages, our score continues climbing steadily, 1500, 1800, 2000, and now the pressure becomes insane because we are getting closer and closer to our target high score of 2350, and every move now feels extremely important. We continue using all the strategies we have learned throughout the game, keeping the board balanced, avoiding unnecessary gaps, and always preparing space for difficult blocks. And slowly but surely we keep surviving. Finally, after an incredibly intense sequence of placements and line clears, we reach the massive milestone of 2350 points, and honestly, seeing that score appear on the screen feels amazing because it proves how much focus and strategy went into this run. And even though the board is nearly full by the end, we successfully achieve our goal before the game finally comes to an end. And honestly, this Watermelon Maker 8-block puzzle game turns out to be much more addictive and challenging than expected, because while the concept is simple, mastering it requires real planning and patience, making every high score feel earned. And with that, we come to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this relaxing yet intense puzzle gameplay and want to see more high score challenges and satisfying puzzle games in future videos, make sure to like the video, comment your highest score, and subscribe to the channel. This is Yash Drall Gamer signing off. Keep thinking smart, keep breaking records, and I'll see you in the next video.